This one has the I don't know how to say it, but it sounds good.
Okay.
Damn, there's 15 grams of sugar in this?
Trust me.
Who the f was that guy?
I don't know. I think he played quarterback or something.
All right, so we're back in Jay's headquarters. And since you guys had such a lot of good things to say about the last segment when we talked about the video, we figured we'd do them one by one, right? I mean, we may as well. Because you've done a lot of videos.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of funny when you know, we talk about the, you know, now we have YouTube, but the early social media, like that's what I call my videos. And that's really how I feel I developed a lot of the following is through the early videos. And I learned that from Sean Ray watching, you know, I remember his VHS, right? And if you recall, some of you may, you know, have followed me this long, have VHS versions of A Cut Above. That was the last.
That was the first one.
That was the only one in the last one, but I actually converted that to DVD when they launched DVDs. But A Cut Above was the first. This is the second.
Yeah.
So this was New and Improved and Beyond. This happened, we filmed this after my second Arnold Classic victory. So this was 2003.
2003, yeah.
And this was prior to going into Olympia the year that Ronnie Coleman came back crazy, which I was actually very favored to win that year. But what was cool about this video is this is the first video that featured me when I lived in Summerlin, when I moved to Las Vegas. So Cut Above was filmed between Massachusetts and then my condo in Aliso Viejo. Yeah. So when I, you know, when we were talking about filming the next segment, I said, okay, let's get me around the showtime. I didn't actually capture the competing side for the Arnold, but I captured right after, so I was in phenomenal shape. A couple good workouts in here. The leg workout was crazy. I mean, I remember training with Rick. I was training with Rick at the time, was my training partner.
No pain.
Yeah, we did a crazy, I mentioned the back workout in the last, what did we review last time? One Step? I think One Step Closer.
One Step Closer, yeah.
So, this back workout is when I was bent rowing 4 plates, which was a lot. You know, I was wearing tights. I was wearing the Max Muscle. This is when I had the Max Muscle deal.
And that's actually that's the reason why it was like kind of like my in to contact you to become friends with you, because I was working at Max Muscle at the time and I was in charge of all the corporate stores. And because I saw you you actually sent me a VHS copy of the first video.
A Cut Above.
A Cut Above, and I saw you were wearing all the Max Muscle, so I said, hey, you know what? Yeah. I work for Max Muscle. If you want, I'll send you some clothing, and that basically translated into you getting a clothing deal from Max Muscle.
Yeah, so when I was doing that clothing deal, I don't know what I was paid. What is it?
$1,500.
Okay, $1,500. He remembers the contract.
Yeah, because I negotiated the deal. Yeah.
So I was getting $1,500 a month. I would get all the free clothing I wanted.
As many as you want. You come to the warehouse and you just load up.
Yeah, man, they had that crazy warehouse in Orange or whatever. Right?
It was in Santana.
Okay,
the first time. Yeah.
And I remember there was they had a limit, but it seemed like it was the
not
limit
to you.
Was like,
you had like trash bags, dude,
like
full.
So I actually wearing a lot of the clothing
yes.
here. So I was wearing the red tights in this crazy back workout I did, and I was sweating like a pig because I was actually rebounding after the show. But I kind of remember what was cool about this video is I had my Harley then, and I transitioned riding my bike in California to Las Vegas, and I actually took it to the gym.
We see you arriving,
and I burned my leg because I was wearing shorts. And I got off and I touched the pipe, and you know, you just touch it for a split second, and everyone's burned their legs on a motorcycle. So I had this big welt on my leg, and you can see it actually in the video, and you know, that was kind of crazy. And I remember that's before I got into buying all the crazy cars. I bought a white Jaguar, and I was kind of featuring that through that. I remember I drove out to do the photo shoot for the Arnold Classic victory with Chris Lund. You know, he would come out twice a year out at Milos's gym.
Yeah.
And
Fullerton, yeah.
I drove the car out there. I remember Chris Lund going crazy for that white Jaguar. He's like, "Oh my God, this is a car I wanted."
Yeah, he's British.
It was super. That car was super fast. But that was my first like real step up after I sold my Corvette, and I actually started buying more cars.
Exotics,
you know?
Yes.
And then after that, you know, for Rip to Shreds, I had the twin turbo Porsche. That was like my big step up. You know, big car payment too. But you know, by that point, I was.
You're probably paying more on the car payment than you're paying your first condo.
For my house, I think actually it was as much as my house payment.
That's crazy.
So anyway, you know, I was doing a lot of real estate and all that stuff, but I got to speak to the kids. That was a big part of that thing, which was really cool. I used to go out. I had like an arm wrestling thing I did in like somewhere in California, but I also went and spoke at the Lake Forest High School, and this is where you'll see me speak to the kids, and I'd flex for them and do whatever and talk about
You were
my
doing
career.
that like on a yearly basis, like
Yeah,
every year
yep.
you go back.
Well, it's funny because there was a guy that trained at my gym, and he was like the high school teacher there. So he actually got me involved and said, "Hey, will you come over and speak to the students?"
That's great.
And I love doing it.
Okay, listen up, please.
What's up, class?
This is our guest speaker for today. He'll be here today, Las Vegas, but he comes back here periodically to do some business here. He still has his accounting firm here, and he does have a lot of investments here.
All right, I just want to first thank Phil Larry for having me out here today. Like you said, I've been here. This is my third time, and I really enjoy coming and speaking to you guys because I basically started weight training when I was 18, just out of high school, and I'm a normal guy, and I've been fortunate to make a career out of just doing what I love to do, and that's lifting weights. I had no plan to be a professional bodybuilder, so I grew up in central Massachusetts. I'm 29 years old. I grew up on a farm actually in central Massachusetts, Worcester County. 3 brothers, 3 sisters, pretty large family. And I just did the normal, teenage things. And when I was young, I just basically rode my bike. I was involved in sports. I played football in high school, and I did track. And basically, working in the farm, I developed quite a physique, even at like 12, 13, 14 years old. So right out of high school, I basically joined the gym at 18 years old, right when I graduated, and I was off to college pursuing a degree in criminal justice, and that was basically when I started. Okay, I didn't really know what I was doing. I never knew what I was getting involved in, so I started weight training just to be bigger, okay, and basically the first year of training I gained like 50 pounds, okay. I ate a lot of food and fullest at the time, and right now you guys are at a huge turning point of your lives. This is where you move into the next step of your life, okay, where you're gonna have to make your own decisions, and sometimes these early decisions can be the most important things in your life, okay, what you may do in the future. A lot of you probably heading off to college, and you have a lot of careers that you're planning to endure right now, but that may change. I mean, I wanted to be a cop. In 2 years I wanted to be a bodybuilder, and then of course now I did the bodybuilding thing, became the best I could, and moving on to other ventures now, okay. So things change, you go through changes in life, but you have to be willing to take those changes. There's only really probably 3 or 4 top guys making really serious money in the business, and like I said, this isn't one of those businesses you can just sit there and let the money roll in. It just doesn't happen that way. Is that the end of class? All right, thanks class. Thanks for coming out and listening to my story.
Yeah.
Give me a half shot.
Oh man,
And that's the fattest.
300 pounds.
Ryan Hitchman, Michelle Deaver, Jessica Jewell.
That's
see this is what happens when you lock yourself in the gym, buddy. High protein.
Ooh, shoot, dog.
Hey, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, this is normal. When you walk out, what are you going to do? They're going to go,
It wasn't like this last time, though.
yeah.
Come on, pose down with me. Come on.
What's that? Oh, no.
Twisted Steel sex appeal. What's up? You're the biggest kid here?
Well, me and him.
Have your autograph.
Just sign it on your pen. It's a hard surface.
Hey! They're throwing stuff at me, Vince. We're causing a riot.
Another thing, I guest pose at the World Gym Classic in San Diego. Every year, John Lindsay would have me come pose at his show, and I remember setting up the table there, and I was guest posing, and there's a lot of footage of that in there. So it brings back a lot of memories when I do these videos and talk about, like, I look at some of the weights, like I'm looking at this. There's the picture of Kerry spotting me with the crazy dumbbells, and I'm like, damn, man, how do I ever pick those things up?
And it's great to see that. A lot of people still today will mention, Carrie training with you. They'll watch the old footage, and it's great to have her in there. We'll put some footage of that. But yeah, man.
I was benching 4 plates, like on the incline, like nothing, and those were the times where I didn't have the fear. I remember I think I was bench pressing, even flat bench pressing, which I never did, 4 plates, and
that's dangerous.
My strength was just through the roof, and that's when I was really starting to click in Las Vegas. And I can tell you guys, like, moving to Vegas was a huge monkey off my back with, I was in a time when Vegas was really exploding, and I was buying a lot of real estate at the time. So while I was doing great in bodybuilding, I was also flipping homes, and that opportunity was there. So it was kind of an exciting time, and I was started winning all the shows. Like, I was kind of undefeated at that point, except at the Olympia. So I was really bringing my career forward. And I think even during this time is the time I actually signed my Muscle Tech deal, which was historic because it was one of the biggest ones ever. And that's when I kind of started my whole 8-year journey with the Muscle Tech contract. And
what year did you sign with Muscle Tech?
03.
Okay. I couldn't
03,
remember.
yeah.
Okay, so everything sort of around that time started happening. Your 03 was a good...
Yeah, I think I was still under ISS research contract.
Oh, that's right.
The OYA bars, and then I was able to transition over. So I think it was a lot of great memories, and each DVD represents a certain section of my life. And when I was living in the original house in Vegas that I used to come stay at, and I think it's prior to me having of course, Bodie. I had the 2 dogs, Scrappy and Trace wasn't as big. I actually, I almost moved out of California, that condo, almost because Trace was too big. He was like banging up the walls and stuff. So
yeah, he was.
I needed a yard for him. We only had a little courtyard, and
yeah.
I was walking them. And as you remember how crazy he was, it was really hard to walk Trace. He was always wild, and that was the Airedale Terrier I had. But
he was huge. Bodie was smaller.
Yeah, he was a lot smaller because he was average size, but for some reason they said Trace was the biggest Airedale they ever seen, 100 pounds.
Like a horse.
Yeah, he was tall.
But I want to talk about this whole Vegas thing, because we just filmed with Flex yesterday about his gym coming to Vegas. And as I'm hearing you talk about moving to Vegas and everything sort of like opened up for you, I don't know if you realize this or not, but since you came here and you kind of made yourself so successful, it seems to me like everyone's kind of like gathering around Vegas now. I mean, have you noticed how many people? Flex is here, Roden's moving here, everyone's coming here. You started this thing in Vegas where it seems like and it took a few years, granted.
I feel like it already went through this cycle. I feel like when I came, like if you remember, Gustavo Bedell came, and like
Frank
a lot of
Hildebrand.
people. Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys were here. Craig Titus was here. Unfortunately, he's in jail now, but. had a group already coming. Dennis Wolf came.
That's true.
So it already kind of started, and then the cycle kind of faded out.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone's going to California and migrating there with Dexter and Sean and everyone. You know, they came from different places to train. But it seems like now, I mean, the smartest choice is to come to Nevada, which obviously has the state tax advantage, and you know, the cost of living is not. I don't think Vegas is as cheap as it used to be. I mean, we have a guy sitting over here, Jared, that he just became a homeowner for the first time in 2020. Awesome. And I mean, you know, the deals aren't out there as much. I mean, it was.
Well, I think, of course, since so many people are moving into Vegas, that doesn't help either. It's like Florida. You know, so many people moving to Florida. It's not so affordable not in Florida. It's you know.
But I'm sure you're thinking 3 years ago you probably should have purchased a house, right? I mean, it's gone up a lot. I mean, like I told you, when I was flipping homes, I mean, I was putting 5% down on a home, and I was able to finance it. And by the time I got done building a home, I could make $100,000 on a home.
Wow.
So now, it's 20 or 25%. So it's a lot different. That's why I was able to do 4 or 5 homes at a time. I mean, as much. I was making money, but I only had so much capital. And then once I had that capital, you know, of course I went into commercial stuff and then got into more of the funds where I stopped doing as much flipping because I started becoming a renter. I rented homes, which I wish now I would have kept those because you would come here and like I still think in my head, like maybe I should just buy a couple houses and rent to a couple of my friends. But then I'm like, man, I don't know if it's worth renting a couple of my friends, you know? So we'll see. I'm going to watch the market for this year because I would like to have a couple rental properties that would be beneficial. There's a lot of reasons, but I think, you know, now I think it would be great, especially with people coming in part-time to Vegas and doing some Airbnb type things.
Yeah.
You know, with so many other competitors here and people of interest in fitness, I think it would be beneficial for us to have place. I mean, you know, a lot of friends probably want to come visit, and I mean, you're only going to house so many people, right?
Of course.
I mean, you only have so much space, and I know they're not coming to stay at my house, even though I have space. I don't like having a hotel all the time. So, but I think Vegas has now become a hotbed. I think it's exciting for Flex. You know, we're super happy for him. You know, you still have all the big chains around. You know, LVACs, the EOS Fitnesses. You know, we have Fit Club. We've been training at. We have Lift Factory. Kilo Club. I mean, there's so many different places depending on what part of the valley you live in.
But also different vibes. I like that.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
So but that's what I loved about Vegas.
Yeah.
I loved the fact that, and you see this video, you'll see me train at the Old Flamingo, you see me train at Lake Mead, you know, Decatur. We had a lot, like every day I could train a different body part at a different gym with a different vibe, right? And although the gyms might have been all Gold's gyms at the time, and you know, right now we talk about LVAC or EOS or Fit Club or you know the Dragons, like all these gyms, you're going to have a different vibe. You're going to have different personalities. And listen, some weeks you might want to train at one location and stay there. You may never want to leave that location. But the nice thing is like if you're going to train leg day, or you want to just, hey, I want to change a pace, we can go to a different gym and train. It's not super expensive even for day passes. They're pretty welcoming. For us anyway. Most people, they do have a day pass that's reasonable.
Oh, yeah.
And you can buy 3-day pass or whatever it is.
Yeah, weekend
pass,
or week or whatever. Yeah.
So it's working out really well. So, you know, we encourage everyone, you know, to keep Vegas on your radar.
Yeah.
And
it's growing. It's growing, and I'm really excited because, I mean, I came here for my own reason, but for me to have all my friends moving here, it's like we're building this huge community, which I kind of felt like we lost in California not because of anybody's fault, because of what happened, and we're kind of recreating it here. So I think it's really cool.
But Dave did a really cool thing. He went to the Mecca.
Yes.
And he shot I'm going to call it a bullshit video because it was a very
8 minute, 8 minutes.
And now it's doing amazing. We got a ton of views because it shows how enthusiastic and excited you guys are about fitness and bodybuilding and wondering what's going on with the Mecca. But yes, the question was asked, when are you going to go train there? We have it on the list.
Yes.
I'm waiting for the restaurants to be more than 25% capacity so I'm able to eat and function properly there and stay in a hotel and be at a restaurant.
Because when Jay goes to California, he wants to stay in a nice place, train at Goals, and have some food. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah, and if I can't have one of those things in place, then it's not worth me going. So stay tuned for that. And you know, it will be my first workout in the Mecca, and shoot,
It's
over
going
a
to be
year.
huge. It's going to be huge, yeah.
You know, our biggest viewed videos were last year when we were training at the Mecca for the Van Dam and
Yeah.
My first workout of
2
2020.
days. Yeah, the two biggest video we ever had, we shot them 2 days in a row. And it's great, yeah.
So let's keep staying positive, guys. Make sure you guys like the video, comment below, please. If you have any memories of me during this this new and improved and beyond, I know a lot of you guys have seen it. It is downloaded on mocvideo.com. Sorry, their YouTube channel is MOC Video.
Yeah.
This DVD is in full length running there, so make sure you guys check it out. Even though we're showing a few clips.
Yeah.
Bruce,
Bruce,
shout out
very
out
nice.
to Bruce and shout out to Mitz for all the years of great filming and his knee pads and everything else. So
Yeah, I'm doing what I'm doing because of him. Mitz was like my inspiration, you know. Awesome.
you talked to him recently. So.
Yeah, actually, he called while I was at the Milos' house for his birthday, so I got to talk to him on the phone. I told him, I said, listen, you really pioneered this whole entire thing with your battle for the Olympia and your video and Lee Priest and Ronnie.
I'd love to bring the Battle for the Olympia back. I'd love to be in charge of.
Oh my God! If we could have the budget just to fly all over the country,
I think it'd be great. Who's
be awesome.
Who's in favor of JTV covering Battle for the Olympia? That's the big question.
Yeah, maybe we can talk to Dan and get this whole thing.
So shout out to all you guys. Love you guys. Keep following along, and like I said, make sure you comment below and let us know what you think.
All right.